Hi, Shanna here. Welcome to my channel all about finding joy while living with autoimmune disease. I'm so happy to have you here. Today I'm going to be talking about self-care for autoimmune flares. So part of finding joy while living with autoimmune disease is knowing what to do when those autoimmune flares come, in my mind. And so we know that we're living with autoimmunity. We know that our health is not perfect. Despite our best efforts, even if we have our nutrition on point and everything, we're trying to do all the things. Sometimes we do find ourselves in autoimmune flares. Sometimes we feel those autoimmune symptoms creeping back up. So today I'm going to share what I do when that happens. First thing I do when I start to feel those autoimmune symptoms creeping back in, when I start to feel like I may be pointed towards a flare, is I do a little self-evaluation. I start asking myself questions. How's my nutrition? Am I staying hydrated? How's my sleep? Have I been sleeping okay? Stress. Am I under physical stress? Am I under emotional stress? Have I been overscheduling myself? Have I been moving too much, or am I not moving enough? And so I kind of start looking at all of those things, and then I kind of take a deeper dive into each of those things. So I do my little self-evaluation, and then also immediately I try to slow down everything, realize that I need to slow down, figure this out, and I try to not get upset. So my first initial reaction when I start to feel autoimmune symptoms is to get upset. It's not fun to not feel good, right? And it's easy to get down on ourselves, or to get mad at our bodies, or to think of all the things that we can't do, or to wonder, how long is this going to last? Is this going to stop? Is this going to get worse? And so I try to just kind of allow myself to feel all those negative things, but then not to sit in it too long, to get up and to be like, okay, this is okay. I've got this. I'm living with autoimmunity. I know what to do when this happens. And then I start looking at all the things. And so let's kind of take a deeper dive, and I'll share with you all the things I look at when I start to feel those. So one of the first things I look at is my nutrition. I make sure my eating is on point, because when my eating's on point, that's going to help me feel better faster. So I look at things. So I usually go back to the elimination phase if the flare is bad enough. If it's like a minor symptom and I know like I reintroduced a food, maybe it's just a sign of a failed reintro. Some other things I look at is I make sure I'm getting enough nutrients. Meaning I'm not falling into the rut of eating the same thing every day, because let's be real, like it can be, when life gets busy and we're feeling great, it can be easy to slide into, oh, I'm just going to eat the same thing every day. It's important that we're getting a variety of nutrients and that we're focusing on nutrient density. Another thing I look at is, are my meals macro balanced? In other words, am I getting protein, carbs in the form of vegetables, and some fruit, and am I getting healthy fats? Am I getting those things in every meal? It really is important that we're getting those things in every meal. Another thing I look at is, am I getting carried away with AIP snacks and sweets? I've shared before, I have to be careful. I just don't, me personally, I'm not saying this is for anybody else, but me personally, I just don't feel as well when I'm eating the like AIP snacky, there I go, making up words again, snack and sweets. I just don't feel as well. So I really have to limit my AIP treats for me to feel my best. And especially when those autoimmune symptoms pop up, I make sure that I have that in check too. So a couple other things I look at when it comes to eating is, am I eating in a parasympathetic state? Meaning, am I relaxed as I eat? It's really important for our digestive organs to work properly that we are in a parasympathetic state. Some little tricks: so you could take some deep breaths before you eat, offer some gratitude, look out a window, focus only on eating, put away the phone, put away the work, and just focus on eating. And so it's really important that our digestive organs have a chance to work properly, and we need to be in a parasympathetic state to do that. Another thing I do is I make sure I am chewing my food well and eating slowly. Again, it's like wonderful that we're eating like all these great foods, right? Organic, locally sourced, pasture raised, grass fed. But it's important that our body is absorbing all of that goodness. And one way that we could help our bodies absorb all of that goodness is by chewing our food completely, like into a liquid form, and then eating slowly. And that's really going to make a difference. It sounds so lame, I know, but I promise it makes a difference in the way that our body digests and absorbs nutrients. Next thing I do for self-care for autoimmune flares is hydration. So hydration is so important for autoimmune health, and it just actually it's just important for health and wellness in general for everybody. So a lot of the signs, so a lot of people are chronically dehydrated. And so it really is important that we're making sure that we're getting enough hydration, that we're drinking plenty of clean water, that we're not drinking things that we shouldn't be. And a lot of the symptoms of dehydration can mimic some autoimmune symptoms. So it's really important that if you start to feel some symptoms, that you're making sure that you're hydrated, because maybe it's not an autoimmune symptom that you're experiencing, maybe it's a symptom of dehydration. So I wrote a blog post all about self-care for autoimmune flares. I will link it below. In it, I do include, it like has a lot more information than this video, but in it, I do include what some of the symptoms of dehydration are, so that you can take a look at those and see, hey, maybe this isn't an autoimmune symptom, maybe I'm dehydrated and I need to focus on my hydration. So one hydration tip that I do every day that really starts me out right is, it starts the night before, but every night I fill up my favorite glass water bottle with water, and I put it on my nightstand. And then in the morning, as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do is I drink about half of it. I think it's about 16 or 24 ounces. I drink about half of it, and that really helps me to feel better when I wake up. It helps to flush out toxins, and it really helps me to set me up to remember to drink water too, because let's be real, like we get busy and we forget. So I drink half of it when I first wake up, and then I drink the other half within an hour of waking up. And that way I know right away that I'm starting out, on the right foot as far as hydration, and it really keeps me going throughout the day. And I just keep refilling it and drinking it throughout the day. Self-care for autoimmune flares, the next thing I make sure is in check is sleep. Oh my goodness, nothing puts me into an autoimmune flare faster than lack of sleep. Like if I keep not sleeping well night after night, I do okay with one night. I may get like a few symptoms back, but I am so sensitive to sleep. I'm not saying everybody is, I'm just saying, man, I am sensitive. So it's hard because the natural me wants to like stay up late with my husband, hang out with my kids, watch our favorite shows, do all the things. And I know that if I do that, I'm gonna pay the price. And so sleep is incredibly important. It starts with a bedtime routine for me. I make sure that I try really hard to avoid, being on my phone at night, watching TV right before bed. We do not have a TV in our bedroom anymore. We moved recently and we just decided to not have it in our bedroom, and it's really, really great because then we're not even tempted. What else do I like? A noise machine. I'll link to my favorite noise machine. It's a bit pricey, but they have an amazing warranty program, and it's like my favorite noise machine. If you don't want to get one, you can use an app on your phone. Or maybe you don't even need white noise. Also, I really like to sleep in pitch black. Like we have blackout curtains in our room, and I still use a sleep mask. So I'll link to my favorite sleep mask too. But yeah, just do what you need to do to sleep well. There's like essential oils that can be calming. You can do an Epsom salt bath at night. If I do an Epsom salt bath, I like to do them in the morning, but I know a lot of people who like to do them at night. It's relaxing, it's calming. You can do like some herbal tea. I don't like to drink too many liquids like past 6 or 7 at night because I've had kids, and I don't want to be up all night peeing. So there you go. What else? But yeah, just whatever you need to do to sleep well, just make sure that you're sleeping, that you're getting a good quality of sleep, and that you are making time to go to bed early. I know it's hard, but it really is so worth it. Next, self-care for autoimmune flares, stress. Oh my gosh, stress is so hard to manage. So second only to sleep, stress is the next fastest way for me to get launched into an autoimmune flare or to start feeling autoimmune symptoms. So I really do things every day to try to manage stress. And here's the thing about stress is what works for me may not work for you. So I'll share how I manage stress, but the things that I do to manage stress may stress you out. So I really just encourage you to do things that bring you joy, that help you lessen stress, and you don't have to do what somebody else does just because they're like, oh, this helps manage stress. So anyways, some of the things I do is deep breathing, meditation. I do that every morning for a few minutes. If I'm in a really stressful situation in the daytime, alternate nostril breathing is like, whew, it can get me out of stressful situations pretty fast. Yoga with Adrienne she has like online free yoga videos, and I actually learned alternate nostril breathing through her. So I'll see if I can find it, and I'll link it in my blog post or below. Also, laughing. sounds silly, but those like deep down belly laughs where you snort, like try to laugh. Like I try to laugh with my family. When I was in my darkest point at my rock bottom, I lost my laugh. I like did not have a sense of humor anymore. And once I realized that that had happened, I tried to start laughing again. And one of the only ways I could do it is to turn on my favorite like old comedies and just like watch old episodes. I love The Office and Parks and Rec, and those could just like make me laugh so hard. Movement, like getting outside in nature, that really helps me de-stress. Gentle walking, unplugging from my phone and the internet. I do that a few hours every day, in chunks of time, and I take off a full day once a week, off of all social media and electronics. Well, unless like I'm talking to my mom on the phone or like family or something. But yeah, so that really helps. Yoga, gentle yoga. I'm not like a big yogi, but I love gentle yoga, and that really helps me. I was thinking of something that I'm not sure if I should say or not, but spending time with your man, if you know what I mean. That's a de-stressor, and it's boasts all kind of health benefits. I cannot believe some of the things I share on here. I totally didn't mean to, but I'm just saying that's a quick way to relieve some stress. Okay, self-care for autoimmune flares. The next point is movement. So this is really tricky for me. So movement is an important part of health, wellness, the autoimmune protocol, you name it, it's important. But my problem is I was like a workout addict before I hit my rock bottom. I love working out, like circuit, HIIT. I would occasionally do CrossFit with my husband. Like we do mud runs, Tough Mudders. I've done marathons. Like I just loved working out. And then I hit rock bottom and I had to stop all that because I couldn't really function, let alone, work out. It was like, took everything in me to do the bare minimum. But ever since then, I've struggled with exercise intolerance. So if you don't know what exercise intolerance is, I'll link below. But basically what happens is when I would try to start working out again, my autoimmune symptoms would come back and I'd flare. It's been on repeat for a year and a half, and so it's been really frustrating. But there are some things that I do that feel great on my body. Walking, I can walk every day, I feel great. I can do gentle yoga. I just started Pilates a few weeks ago. I'm starting super slowly and it's mostly worked out great. I'm not ready to share that yet because I'm waiting to see what my body does. But I think 3 out of the 4 times it did well. Last week I did too much and it didn't go so well. But so just be aware of movement, making sure that you're moving. And I'm not saying that you have exercise intolerance like me or that you're sensitive to over exercise. Hopefully you're not, because it's not fun. Hopefully you can go work out, because that's a great stress reliever too, like hitting the gym, running, going on a walk. But just be careful with your autoimmune issues that you are paying attention to how you feel and that you're moving in a way that really helps you feel your best. So yeah, exercise is moving, but not over exercising is important to me when I am addressing autoimmune symptoms and a flare. Self-care for autoimmune flares, over scheduling. Okay, so after we're in a flare and we're feeling better, we can start adding back in all the things, right? We can start living our life again, and it's so awesome, and this is what we wanted, and yay. But then when a flare comes back, it's really important in my mind, in my life, that I start cutting back on those activities, that I allow myself time to recover. I allow myself time to rest, time to heal, time to sleep, time to take care of myself, time to do all the things. And so one thing that my husband and I do is every Sunday we sit down with our planners and we go over our week, and I say what I have going on, he says what he's going on, we look at our kids' schedules, we say, okay, you do dinner this night, I'll do dinner this night, I'll take our daughter here, you take our son here, vice versa. We kind of just get it all figured out. But he knows that is all based on me feeling well, that if I'm not feeling well, that we need to adjust some things, and we just take those weeks as they come. We take those days as they come, and my health is to a point now where if I have a bad morning, it doesn't mean I'm going to have a bad day. If I have a bad day, it doesn't mean I'm going to have a bad week. If when I'm having that bad morning, I take the time to slow down and to rest and to make sure all of these things are in check, it's when I don't slow down, it's when I don't take the time, that then that bad morning turns into a bad day, turns into a bad 2 days, potentially a bad week. That really rarely happens anymore. I could usually catch my flares so quickly, do all these things, and then I'm feeling better. I'm bouncing back pretty fast. So just be careful with overscheduling. And then even if I'm feeling great, my husband and I really try to be mindful of our schedules, because life is not all about being stressed and running from one thing to the next, right? If my autoimmune disease taught me anything, it's to find joy, to enjoy the moment. And how can we do that if we're like running from thing to thing to thing to thing? And what's that teaching our kids too, right? We want to teach our kids to enjoy life, and to learn and to grow. And learning and growth takes time. Finding joy in the moment takes time. And so we try to be really mindful about our schedules. Self-care for autoimmune flares, loving yourself through it. Oh my gosh, that's really hard for me. I don't know if that's hard for you, but my first reactions have always typically been to get upset, to like feel like my body is, betraying me, to feel negative emotions, and it can be really hard. But when I replace that negativity with love and acceptance, and like loving it and accepting myself, my body exactly the way it is, like no conditions, like accepting and loving me through the ups, through the downs, through the sideways, like that makes a difference. Because as I learn to love myself more and more, then it's easier for me to take time to take care of myself, to realize that I am worth taking care of. I am worth carving out time each day to do all the things that we've talked about today. So self-love is really so important. Some things that helped me in the beginning were things like positive affirmations. I actually worked with a professional too to address some emotional trauma, emotional healing, and she taught me some exercises that helped me learn to love myself. No shame in that whatsoever. Like life is not perfect for everybody. We all have things, and there are people and professionals that can help us through those things. And I think that's beautiful. I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of. And then also just like learning what feels like, how I show myself I love myself, like what does that look like? And to me, it looks like taking care of myself. Okay, so I am sending you so much love and support. If you are in a flare, if you are dealing with symptoms, my heart is with you. It is not fun. It is terrible. But I just want you to know that you are strong enough to take care of yourself, to do all of these things, to find wellness again. None of these things came naturally to me. I did not do any of these things until about 1.5 years ago after hitting my rock bottom. And so please know that you can change. I've changed. I really feel like if I can do these things, anybody can. But please know that you're so much stronger than you realize, and that you can be starting all of these things and skeptical and wondering if it's going to help. It's going to help. It's going to help. And I believe in you 100%. You so got this. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I publish new videos every Thursday. If you like this video, please like, comment. Let me know your thoughts, your experience, what you do when you have a flare. If you have not already, I would so appreciate if you would subscribe and share this channel. That's how it grows. Thank you so much, you guys, and have an awesome week.